April 8th, 2017. Eric and a group of 5 other hikers were making their way to the top of Mount Harvey. They were only a short distance away when Eric suddenly felt exhausted. He turned to his group and said, "I need to rest for a few minutes. You guys go ahead, I'll catch up." The rest of the hikers, eager to reach the summit, agreed and continued without him. But what they didn't know was that these would be their final steps. Mount Harvey, located in the Lions Bay area of British Columbia, Canada, stands at a towering 5,120 feet, approximately 1,650 meters above sea level. The view from its peak is breathtaking, so mesmerizing that hikers become obsessed with conquering it. The scenery from the top is beyond imagination, almost as if you've stepped into another world. There are multiple trails leading to the summit, making the journey about 12 kilometers long. As you ascend, the trees start to disappear, leaving behind nothing but vast stretches of snow. The final kilometer is the most difficult and dangerous. There are no trees to shield hikers from extreme weather and fierce winds strong enough to knock a person off their feet. The safest season to hike Mount Harvey is between June and October, but this group embarked on their trek in April, a time when the mountain is buried under deep snow and the weather is at its worst. Visibility can drop to nearly zero, making it impossible to see what lies ahead. Equipment is crucial. Poor conditions can trap hikers in a snowstorm, and a single misstep could send someone plummeting 1,000 feet down. Luckily, all 6 hikers in this group were experienced. 3 of them belonged to one hiking club, while the other 3 were from another. They were skilled climbers who regularly hiked challenging trails. In fact, at least one of them would go hiking every week in the West Vancouver area. So when Eric told them, "Go ahead, I'll join you soon," they didn't think twice. They simply continued toward the peak, unaware of the tragedy about to unfold. Mount Harvey's summit is unique. From a distance, it's easily recognizable due to its steep 600-meter drop, a feature that both attracts and terrifies hikers. As Eric rested, he spotted a solo hiker approaching. The hiker stopped and asked, "Are you okay? Why are you sitting here?" Eric smiled and replied, "I'm fine, just catching my breath. My group is just ahead. I'll be joining them soon." Hearing this, the solo hiker nodded, wished Eric good luck, and continued along the same path as the rest of the group. After a few minutes, Eric felt ready to move again. He stood up and began his ascent toward the peak. But when he arrived, what he saw shook him to his core. His group was gone. Not a single one of his 5 companions was in sight. The only person there was the solo hiker, standing still, looking horrified. With deep regret in his voice, the hiker turned to Eric and said, "Your group, they fell, they're gone." Panic set in. Both men frantically checked their phones, but there was no signal at such a high altitude. They looked at each other, realizing they had only one option: descend the mountain as quickly as possible to find a signal. They rushed down, their hearts pounding. After what felt like an eternity, their phones finally picked up network coverage. Without wasting a second, they called emergency services. But deep inside, they feared the worst. The sheer drop from the summit made survival seem impossible. At 4 p.m., the distress call was received, and within an hour, rescue teams launched their mission. Eric knew the terrifying truth. Falling from Mount Harvey meant certain death. But a small part of him still clung to hope. Maybe, just maybe, his friends had miraculously survived and were waiting for help. More than 40 rescuers joined the search. 2 helicopters and search dogs scoured the mountain, but worsening weather made the operation extremely difficult. As night fell, the rescue teams were forced to suspend the mission until the next day. By the next afternoon, search teams began spotting scattered belongings, hiking gear, snowshoes, and personal items. And then, one by one, they found the bodies of all 5 missing hikers. The heartbreaking news was delivered to their families, and their bodies were carefully recovered. But one question haunted everyone. How did this happen? These were experienced hikers. What went wrong? Mountain experts already knew the answer, so no formal investigation was conducted. As the group continued toward the summit, they paused for a moment to admire a breathtaking view. Lost in the beauty of the scenery, they unknowingly stepped onto a cornice, a massive, overhanging slab of snow and ice that appears to be part of the mountain, but is actually hollow underneath. Cornices form on steep slopes due to wind-driven snow accumulation. Because they lack solid ground beneath them, they collapse under excess weight. The most terrifying part? From above, they look exactly like normal ground. There is no way to tell the difference. Just days earlier, a popular hiking website had warned about the dangerous number of cornices on Mount Harvey, but tragically, the group had no idea they were standing on one. Under their combined weight, the cornice suddenly gave way. Within seconds, all 5 hikers plunged 1,600 feet, 500 meters, into the abyss. Some might assume that falling into snow would cushion the impact, but from that height, even soft snow becomes as deadly as concrete. Worse still, an avalanche had recently settled at the base of the cliff, creating a solid sheet of ice. The moment they hit the ground, their bodies suffered catastrophic injuries. That day, there was supposed to be one more member in the group. He had planned to join them, but had fallen ill at the last minute and decided not to go. He had even packed his gear and was ready to leave, but something made him change his mind. That last-minute decision saved his life. After a devastating accident, Mount Harvey was permanently sealed off during extreme weather conditions. Now, only highly experienced hikers with complete safety gear and proper hiking accessories are allowed to venture onto its treacherous trails. But even experience doesn't always guarantee safety. After all, those who lost their lives on Mount Harvey were seasoned hikers too. In response to this tragedy, the government issued strict warnings, urging all adventurers to stay updated with the latest news and weather conditions before attempting the climb. These regulations were put in place to prevent another heartbreaking incident from occurring. Take Eric and his friends, for example. They were experienced hikers, well-equipped and skilled. Yet their lack of awareness about one crucial danger, the massive cornice formations on Mount Harvey, cost them their lives. What was supposed to be another thrilling adventure turned into an unimaginable disaster. This tragedy serves as a chilling reminder. Nature is unpredictable, and even the most experienced explorers must stay informed and cautious at all times. We hope you found this story informative. If you enjoy such videos, subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. It means a lot to us. Your support keeps us motivated to create more content. Stay safe, stay happy. See you in the next video.